Well, hello, hello. Welcome to every Monday. We bring you all things Nearest. I'm Sailor. I am the market manager for the PNW for Uncle Nearest, and I am with my whiskey brothers and good friends, Jay.
What's going on, everybody? Georgia marketing manager for Uncle Nearest. Peace up, A-Town down, representing Atlanta. How's everybody doing?
Doing well. And
Good,
Nick.
good.
Hey everybody, Nick Griffith here in Los Angeles, where it's shockingly sunny.
And we have a very, very special guest. We could kind of say he's our little brother, our little whiskey brother, right?
Yeah,
That's right.
No doubt.
We have Isiah Washington with us, and he gets to be in a place every day that we don't. So I don't know about you guys, I'm kind of envious
so
of his
jealous.
workplace. I
there's a
mean,
green hue to my screen right now.
yeah. So Isiah, why don't you tell everybody watching what your role is at the Nearest Green Distillery?
So currently, whenever we do open back up, I handle the tastings. We have Jameson and Courtney for the tours, and then after the tours, they'll come to me for the tastings. I'll tell them a little bit more about the story, more about our whiskey as well. Tell them what's to come, anything that they have, any other questions that they may have that they didn't get to ask on the tour. Most of the time they'll come to me because I'm sitting at the horseshoe bar that I'm so privileged to be sitting at. Other than that, right now, as you know, I'm doing the distilling and training.
Yes.
So I'm doing different classes, learning a lot more. It's unbelievable, guys. Like, some of the stuff that I've been learning is unbelievable. I just fell in love with the story altogether, but learning more about this whiskey and how to make this whiskey and bourbon, it's a lot. It's a lot, and it's stuff that you would want. It's like going to school and having PE all day.
Oh, I can imagine. Well, let's
Isaiah,
talk.
real fast, for a lot of people who don't know, when you say distilling and training and stuff like that, tell for those folks who are checking us out for the first time, tell them exactly what you're doing in regards to the legacy for Uncle
Well,
Nearest.
hold on. Let's start at the beginning, though. Hold on. Let's start at the beginning because
My bad. Let's
So
start.
excited, Jay. So excited.
I know. I'm excited too, but let's first learn a little bit about how Isiah came to the distillery. So
Yeah.
what your background is and what this journey has been like for you so far, and then we definitely want to hear about your journey into distilling and what it's and you'll be able to give us a really cool view of the distillery from your experience as well.
For sure, absolutely. So my background is typically not your normal distilling background. It's not your whiskey background. I got background in finance, insurance, working with kids, all kind of different things. I have my resume is pretty deep when it comes to a lot of different things, but it was never. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. But it was never distilling. But I had already knew about the story of Uncle Nearest. Of course, I'm from born and raised Shelbyville, Tennessee.
Hold on one second, Isiah. Pause. I'm hearing a bit of an echo. Do you have earbuds by any chance with you that you can use?
I do. Give me one moment.
Let's use the earbuds. Yep. I didn't hear it at first, and then all of a sudden I started hearing it.
So yeah, born and raised in Shelbyville, Tennessee. So as you know, it's like 20 miles away from Lynchburg. So of course I knew more of Jack Daniel than I did Uncle Nearest. But as you get older, you get to hearing more and more stories about Uncle Nearest. Just hearsay, not too many facts being proven, just knowing that it was an African American that taught Jack Daniel how to make the whiskey. Well, years go by, and I hear more and more about what Fawn is putting together. Never knew that she was actually putting together a distillery out here on 231, which is our main highway. Because if you've ever been to Shelbyville, you know it's not big at all. So it's our main highway, like our main road. But a lot of people, and really where she's at is like the ideal spot for it, just because if you're coming through from Murfreesboro, Nashville area to get to Lynchburg, you have to go through here. So it was perfect. And the land that she's sitting on is Sand Creek Farms, which I had already knew about this because of the horse business. It rings through Shelbyville, Tennessee. But I believe it was Olivia, which is our lead out here at the tasting rooms and tours. She messaged me on Facebook, and she was like, "Hey, I have something that I think you would be perfect for. I would love for you to get to know Fawn and try to be a part of our team." And I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, okay, you know, what exactly is it that you do? Because I didn't know she was a part of Uncle Nearest. I didn't know she was a part of Nearest Green Distillery. And then she told me, I said, wow, it's crazy because last week I had just talked to my dad about this place. I said, I would love to be a part of it, try to be a part of what's going on out there because what's going on is going to be really big because it rang through Shelbyville like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time I'm working in Murfreesboro, which is 30 minutes north of Shelbyville. But like I said, I'm still hearing more and more about Nearest Green Distillery. So time goes by, it's probably like a week goes by. She tells me she's setting me up an interview and all kind of things. And I get a call. It's like 10 o'clock at night. It's like 10 o'clock at night. And I'm sitting there watching TV. I get a call and I'm just like, because it had been put in the back of my head because I hadn't gotten the call. I haven't heard anything. So she gave me a call and she was just like, hey, can you be at an interview at, I believe she said 11 tomorrow morning. I was like, whoa. And this is on a Friday night. And the interview was going to be on a Saturday morning. And I was like, because I'm not used to that. I'm not used to that. So
very
like,
atypical.
All right.
yeah, I'm
Put
like,
the beer down. Get ready for an interview tomorrow.
Exactly. I didn't have no haircut, and you know how big of it look. That's why I got a hat on right now. My face is crusty.
Right.
It was a rough. I called my barber. I was like, I need you early in the morning. I need you. I was like, I'll pay you double. But I came up here and I had that interview with Fawn. She showed me around the distillery. Of course, I was already sold, so I'm sitting there praying. I'm like, God, please, I would love to be a part of this. Well, Steve was here. Drew was actually here as well. Miss Victoria, Olivia, and then a few more of our members here at the distillery. They sat down at our table, which is what I'm sitting on now. And she starts going over different things for the team. And I'm just like, okay, is my interview over? Am I hired? Am I not hired? What's going on? Well, she like towards the, and she said, hey, just have a seat. I was like, okay, cool. So I sat down and she said, oh yeah, by the way, you're hired. I said, oh, wow. It's not your typical interview. But I was just like, wow. So I was excited to get started. I started doing the tasting portion of it. Like I jumped right into it the next day.
Wow.
And started learning more and more. And I started getting more intrigued by some of the questions that a lot of people were asking. And me personally, I never like being asked a question that I don't know. I love knowledge. I love being able to learn things as much as I possibly can. And this was the perfect opportunity for me because it was something different. It was something new and something that I was very excited about. The history behind it just meant so much to me, way more than what any other job that I've possibly done in the past could mean. So I'm just really grateful for the opportunity. I know Fawn and Keith, Miss Victoria, I know all of them are all probably tired of hearing me say I'm just grateful. But that's the honest to God's truth. I'm just grateful to be here. I'm blessed. So I always thank God. Is thankful for putting the right friends in my life to put me in the position to what I'm doing now. And to be able to be part of history and try to make history is something special. So I'm excited to see what's to come with this distillery and the team as well.
When was that, Isiah? Was that October, November?
It was October.
October. So you've been there, what, 7 months now? Is that right?
7 months, I believe so, yeah.
So
what are you...
Go ahead. Yeah, I know you're going to ask this. We always go to ask the same exact question at the same time. Every time.
Pretty good, yeah. Now, what are you working towards now?
So I got my certification for distilling operations, and I got it for fermentation. I could also learn more. I mean, we have Sherry Moore, guys. So, I mean,
Man, a little bit of
Best
knowledge
teacher
there.
on
Yeah.
the planet. Literally,
yeah, so
you have the best teacher
yes.
possible. That's
Which
so
is
amazing.
For
it was
sure.
so hard for me. I seen her in the hallway just a minute ago, and it was so hard for me because she asked me how the classes went. And I was like, oh, God, because if we start talking, we're going to be talking for 2 or 3 hours. I got this interview to do. I got to be with you guys on here. So I was like, I got to, because I knew if I don't start walking away, me and Miss Sherry was going to get to talk. But she is literally so knowledgeable about the whiskey operation, about whiskey in general. And it's just amazing to know, to pick her mind is something special.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you. And to have her in my back seat, in the front seat, the side, and everything else is, I'm grateful for that as well. So. But yeah, she's been great as well for me to be able to ask questions to. The next step will be ageification of the barrels. So that's what I'm working towards next, is the ageification of the barrels. I was supposed to go to class actually with Keith and Fawn, and it was going to be May 7th and May 8th, but of course they got pushed back because of the COVID-19. But hopefully, I think they're going to just reschedule it and bill it for a different time. So hopefully I'll be able to do that next. But after that, I've been, going to sound crazy and sound cliche, but I've been grabbing a lot of books. We're trying to order as many books as I can, trying to read up on it, and a lot of the stuff that I've had from the classes that I went to this past month. That stuff that they gave us was very helpful. So I've been looking through a lot of that stuff and trying to learn as much as I can, listen to different podcasts, reading up on a lot of this stuff. But I just really can't wait until the distillery is actually open and get my hands dirty. That's just the type of guy I am. So, but yeah, that's what I'm working towards next, is the ageification of the barrels will be the next step.
That's cool. Isiah, I wanted to ask you a quick question in regards to what you touched on and being such a source of pride and so grateful to be working there. How is it now that you are coming from growing up in Shelbyville, like you said, you're hearing about the story of Uncle Nearest when you were younger. How is it now going on in regards of family, friends, and stuff like that, to be where you are, doing what you are, and now pursuing, whiskey operations and stuff like that? Coming through school, I mean, I had to mention, I'm a Kappa, but I still got to mention the fact you're an alpha man. You get to wear, I'm wearing your daggone colors and all that good stuff. But just that story of transition from, kid, high school, college, and all that good stuff, and now, being where you are, how is that being with your family and friends and talking to them right now, man? How does that go?
Just so much support. Really, whenever I guess the news dropped of me being the distiller in training, it was really, everybody was on board. Everybody was I was just so grateful for everybody to pat me on the back. Sometimes you need that, but yeah. I was already nervous because of the legacy that I was following, that I was trying to put forth. The whiskey that we're making is not just your average whiskey. So learning more about how to make this actual whiskey meant more to me than just any other job. Okay. So whenever the news dropped, whenever Haley put it on Facebook, I was like, because she asked me, she said, would you be okay with it? And I was like, first I was thinking in my head, I was like, not really, I don't know. I was like, that's kind of.
I'm glad she did.
First.
I'm glad she did.
It's like it's a lot of pressure. I was like, I was like, I don't know. I was like, because I don't really. I'm okay with the attention. It's okay because I don't fold under pressure. But it was still like, I said, I know what was coming behind that. I knew it was gonna be a ton of questions. Yeah. But I was just, when I seen it, when she put it on Facebook, I kid you not, it was 10 minutes later and I had already got 10 messages.
Of course.
And I was just like, but I was so thankful. I was thankful. Right. I was so thankful that everybody was like congratulating me, telling me that they're proud of me. But to me, I'm more or less like, you know what? Y'all ain't seen nothing yet.
Good for you.
Right on, right.
But we were happy to be able to celebrate that success with you, because for those of us, and this is one of the blessings that is coming out of this really awful time in American world history. I mean, this is a horrible time. Many people have passed away, and I don't want to diminish that in any way, but I'm the type of person that has to see, I have to find the positive and I have to find the blessings, because otherwise you get overwhelmed. And that's really what we're doing with these shows, right? This is one of the beautiful things, is that we get to connect with you. And when she made that post, we didn't know this was happening. So I'm in the Pacific Northwest, Nick is in LA, Jay's in Atlanta, you're at the distillery in Tennessee, and we don't know these things are happening, especially because we're growing so fast and we can barely keep up with what's happening, all of us. So for us to find that out about one of our family members was really exciting. And it was really beautiful the way not just our company responded, but our community. And I reposted it, and I was, I felt like, a proud auntie, and I got a lot of comments and questions on it too. Like, it's funny because I think a lot of people were like, what, you can go to there and learn how to distill? And I'm like, no, my friends. Maybe one day, but not right now. So this gentleman had to want to do this, and our company said, if this is something you want to pursue, we'll back you. And he's got many, many years of learning still to come once you actually get onto the distillery floor in whatever capacity. So, but I'm so grateful that Haley posted that, and that we could be in on that knowledge and just tell you how proud we are of you, and just sharing your joy together, and try not to see it as pressure. I think, especially your family, your whiskey family knows, what this process is like, and we just want to support you in every step of it. We're just excited for you.
Absolutely. And I'm like I said, you're going to hear me say it 100 times, is I'm grateful, because I am. It could have been anybody else in this world. Could have been somebody that's already been in the industry, somebody that's already worked for the team. But for me to reach out and take a step and be like, you know what, take a leap out on faith. As far as my career goes, I was just like, I want to try something different. Me and Jay we've had this conversation. Jay had texted me one day about what was it, Jay? If somebody was coming to get some cases for the 1820, I believe.
Oh yeah. It said somebody coming up from Atlanta to get something, or coming to take a tour, like one of my boys or something like that.
Yeah.
Wait, was it Ludacris?
He shot me a text.
Because
yeah,
I always miss it when
Ludacris?
Ludacris shows up. I'm so bummed.
No, not Luda. No.
We are all, by the way,
Man.
do you know how salty we are? We are all so salty about that. I think there never goes a company.
I didn't get to meet him.
What?
What?
That's not fair.
Come on. That's not fair. What?
Yeah, I wasn't here. I was at work.
Oh,
I was in my other job.
oh no, that's just wrong. That's painful.
I was sad. I was hurt by that.
I think
You should have left.
were.
Like, I gotta go. I got a lunch. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
In about 35, 45 minutes. Boom. Gone.
I told him, I was like, the whole time I was sitting at my desk, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this.
Oh, I would have just taken a really long bathroom break.
Oh, I'm out. Yeah. I gotta go see about this other job. Yeah, real quick.
Right. But yeah, so me and Jay we had a conversation, and he asked me, he said, man, what is it? Because he had a lot of ideas that he wanted to bring forth as an ambassador. And originally, that's what I was thinking about, jumping into the ambassador role and wanting to help out more in the South region. But my schedule and their schedules didn't align. So it was just like, you know what? To me, I'm thinking in my head, okay, well, something else. You got to do something else then. If you want to grow in the company, sometimes you got to take a left turn.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And I think that's really what I did. I went on the limb and I just shot a text to Fawn because she had kind of mentioned it at our Christmas party we had. And she was saying about the distilling and how they were bringing up a curriculum for it. And then I know she got tired of me because I was texting her every week and I was just like, hey, what's going on? Like, what do I need to do? But I think she realized that I was serious about it. And then she was just like, you know what? Let me go ahead and push forward. And Fawn, as you know, when she thinks highly of somebody or she knows that somebody wants to do something, she's going to back you 100%, 110%. And that's what she did. and I can't, and
That's awesome.
I can't thank her enough. And then after that, she set me up with Yvette, and Yvette got the ball rolling on everything, and I stayed in touch with her every week until it was time for me to go to classes. And I took that week off, went to Louisville, spent that week up there, learning all kind of things. The guy that ran my fermentation class that I was in, I seen him at the bar at the hotel, and I actually sat there with him for probably like 2 or 3 hours, and was just trying to pick his mind on certain things. And he was really just like, wow, why this guy asked me all these questions? Because there was another group in there. It was like a group of 6 in our fermentation class. Well, they were in our distillery class and my fermentation class. And they came from, I can't remember, it was a bottling company out of, they bottle and they sell vodka. And they're out of California. They're out of California. And they said they was like, the owner was there with them. I guess he's like the head marketing guy or whatever. So he was there with them on certain classes. And he asked us, he asked me, he said, so are you really sold on Uncle Nearest, or would you mind going somewhere else? And I was like,
Poacher.
Wow.
Poacher.
Yeah, that's cool.
You guys are the first people I told this. And I was just like, I was looking and I was just
Exclusive.
like, I was like, what are you getting at? And he was like, man, in the distilling operations class, I could just tell that you were focused and you were just taking a lot of notes, and I could see you really tuned in. He said more than some of the guys that I brought with me. And
Wow.
and a lot of those guys had already, but the thing is, a lot of those guys had already been doing this for a while. So a lot of the stuff that they were teaching, they had already knew. But me, even if I had already known a lot of this stuff that even Sherry had taught me, I wanted to learn more. I was like, I'm finna just be a student of the game as much as I can. But because I was thinking in my head, I was like, I don't want to let anybody on the team down. I don't want to let nobody on my whiskey family down, and I don't want to let Uncle Nearest down. So this is really what I'm here for. I'm not here to get a free vacation. I'm here to study. And I told him that, and he was just like, wow. He said, so again, are you sold on Uncle Nearest, or you want to go somewhere else? I told him, I
Poachers.
said, I was like, pretty much sold.
Not for vodka.
Right. I was like, definitely not. I was like, come on, man, you could have done better than that.
Right. He really, really likes vodka. I don't know if you could tell. Second favorite spirit, right after whiskey.
I can't even joke it. I can't even joke about it.
Yeah, it's gotta be bourbon or some good Tennessee whiskey for me, guys.
There you go.
So Isiah, where are you actually studying? Are you at Shine University in Kentucky?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, we all went through the stave and
Stave and
what's
Thief.
it called? Stave and Thief. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, they told me
class
about y'all. They said the Uncle
Noisiest
Nearest
class
team
I've ever
came in
had.
there. Yeah, they said they were a lively bunch. I said,
Oh my God.
That's my team. I was like, yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah.
I said we're gonna have fun wherever we go. So I was like, that's good to know that they came in. They were the lively bunch. Is what they call it.
Jeez.
That's a magical place. I love that spot.
Oh, that place is
man,
so
it was pretty
awesome.
cool. It was pretty cool.
So so to bring us up to date now with everything going on, of course, with the coronavirus and stuff like that, what's going on day to day up at the distillery going on right now, man? What are you up to?
Well, I'll tell you the person that's here the most probably is Sherry.
Of course.
She's in and out of the office on a regular. I could ride by here because I'm working from home at the moment at my other job. So I'll ride by here sometimes to go to the store or wherever I need to go, and I'll see her car here 99% of the time, or I'll see Keith's truck. So Fawn and Keith were out here a lot. Olivia, which is, like I told you, our lead out here, she's here helping do stuff around the distillery as well. They're really doing a lot of groundwork on our single barrel warehouse. That's really where a lot of the attention is going.
So hold on, let's get into that for a second. Let's back up for a minute. So the distillery is being built in phases. So phase 1 was is the meeting house, right? What do we call it?
Visiting center, the welcome house.
Welcome house. Thank you. I knew it was something like that. Is the welcome house. And so right now, that's where you end your tour. That's where the horseshoe bar is for the tasting bar, the bottle shop, gift shop, etc. And then you have a mezzanine, which is, I think, above you right now, right? Where all the awards are. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So then phase 2, what part of the facility is phase 2? Because phase 2 is nearing completion. Is that correct?
Yes. It's supposed to be the Barrel House Barbecue will be open at that point.
Okay.
We're working, like I said, really the groundwork of the single barrel warehouse is really where they put a lot of the attention on.
Okay.
I think a lot of things have changed because of COVID-19.
Sure.
These guys are still out here working on a regular basis. They're working at Heritage Hall. They're putting a lot of that stuff up right now, because a lot of that stuff had to be broken down.
So Heritage Hall, just for people that don't know. So
I keep forgetting everybody that doesn't know what Heritage Hall and all this stuff is. Sorry.
So Heritage Hall was the indoor training center? Is that what it was previously?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. Don't let me misquote on that one, but I believe so.
Where you would lead the horses on the lead and they would trot around, right? I think.
I believe so, yeah.
It's going to be, though, like a museum, right? To things that were...
It's going to be everything Tennessee.
Everything Tennessee. Things that were invented in Tennessee, things like that. Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be...
Like Mountain Dew.
Like Mountain Dew, like NASCAR. Like,
it's going to be a ton of stuff. I mean, they're gonna work with Tennessee Museum, flipping things out every so often.
Oh, cool. Very cool.
Yeah, and then we're going to have also a lot of the facts, artifacts and things that Fawn and archaeologists and all those guys that came and helped her put together what we have today. They're going to have a lot of those laid out in there.
Oh,
so
cool.
Everything that she has on Uncle Nearest and Jack Daniel will be in the Heritage Hall.
That was
about that for sure.
A lot of stuff. We've heard from several people, and there's been photos in the press over the years of the enormous amount of paperwork and photos and items that she's collected over the years verifying this story. So that's really, I didn't know that. That's really, really cool.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. I mean, it's like, I'm telling you, they don't stop working. It's amazing to see these guys out here on a regular. I mean, even whenever we were doing tours and tastings, these guys will be in here getting it. I mean, they will be all around the single barrel warehouse. They will be over there at Heritage Hall because that's where our welcome house will be. This will be something different. This won't be our welcome house because we're almost outgrowing it now because
I can imagine. I stood inside that building. It's very small. So we also have a porch, right? So Speedy was on our happy hour last week and just mentioned the sunset. So Speedy, can you describe what that's like? So we have a porch that has rocking chairs and it's called, and so just explain where Copper Skies came from and all of that.
Oh yeah.
Copper Skies is, it's in Toppy's bar. But of course, I made it the other day, and I had some, but it didn't taste nothing like the one we get here. So I was disappointed.
The cocktail?
Yes. Oh my God. It's amazing. But if I'm drinking my whiskey, I'm drinking it neat anyways. But if I want to drink a cocktail, Copper Skies is the way to go. Or some old fashioned or something of that nature. But Copper Skies, everybody that comes and they have the Copper Sky with us, they enjoy it every time and they come back for it. We have people that come back on a regular. Jay can attest to it. We have people that come back on a regular.
That cocktail was created for us by our friends at Death & Co. in New York. So thank you all in New York.
Yes, big shout out to Death & Co.
Yeah.
That was a phenomenal.
Back to that porch real quick, because when I was in Tennessee in September, I was able to spend a day at the distillery doing exactly what you do, Isiah, working the horseshoe bar, leading tastings with Matt, our ambassador from the UK. And
Posh
I snapped
Matt.
this Posh Matt. I snapped this.
Oh wow! Look at
Wow.
that! Look at that!
That's
That is typical, correct? That's like not abnormal. That's a usual sunset, just a regular old sunset there.
That's probably one of the best sunsets you'll ever get. Where they're sitting at, that's back there at I believe that was at Toppy's, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so yeah, on the back. So every Saturday, and it's seasonal, so it's probably like April until like October. And I'm missing it too because we would have been starting it, I believe, last weekend or weekend before. Anybody that comes and hangs out with us after the tours, people that's even on the tour, or people that just leave from a tour and come back, or even anybody in the community, they can come and hang out with us and have 2 free cocktails. Copper Skies is one of them. Copper Skies, Old Fashioned, Tennessee Ginger. I believe there's one more I can't remember exactly what it was. But we give 2 of those out for free. People to just come and hang out with us on their porch and watch their sunset, because the Copper Sky is coming, is from the actual sunset is really what it's named after, I guess. That's why they called it the Copper Sky, or used it for that specific reason. But it's a beautiful sunset, and everybody always comes back and sees it. I mean, people can come back and it literally be raining, and you can't even see the sunset anymore. And they'll be like, "Oh yeah, y'all got any more Copper Skies?" I'm just like, "Yeah, whatever."
And we have
That's
Rose.
the kind of atmosphere we try to treat, though.
And we have Rose.
We try to have people that come in and do that.
We have rows of rocking chairs out there for people to sit on and enjoy the sunset, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I believe it's a total of 20, if
Okay.
I'm not mistaken.
Very cool.
But literally, it's amazing to see the people come in there and come out there and hang out with us afterwards. Because people are going to tell you, because I just became in charge of telling her, well, within the past couple months, I'm telling her whenever she's running over time. So I'm supposed to stop her during her tour. Can you imagine listening to this woman speak and telling her, "Fawn,
cut it, Fawn,"
stop, or cut it? Like, I'm just like, no, I can't do that. It's not happening. And she gets mad every time because I let her go over her time. But she'll stop her time during Copper Skies, because she'll be like, you know what, hey guys, we're gonna run back here for Copper Skies. Y'all can meet me back here, or you can leave, whatever you want to do, but I gotta go. And she'll go back there and have her a Copper Sky or 2 or 3 or 4. So
that's great.
I love it. That's
now,
awesome.
in addition to that museum that's going on, and we got the Single Barrel Warehouse. That is an old row of horse stalls, correct?
Correct. Yes.
So that's being converted into the Single Barrel Warehouse, and then we've got Heritage Hall, which is the arena that was used to run those horses.
Yep.
Which is also going to be a music hall. Is that still in the
works? Yes, it will be like it'll be like a small venue. Of course, it'll have like your live bands and stuff like that. People to come in and do their thing, as well as having the barbecue. And then the world's longest bar. You cannot forget that world's longest bar.
World's longest bar. Yes.
Guinness Book of World Records, I heard, right?
I cannot wait. I cannot wait to get behind that bar. I think
That'll be awesome.
I cannot wait to have that barbecue.
It's amazing. And we have our horses here as well. So we have a few more of the horses out. I know I see Money and Toppy right now. I'm not sure. I think we have 2 more out there, but they're coming home bit by bit. So we're excited to have those guys back here, and for everybody to see them even while they're driving by, get to see them and interact with them as well. So it's exciting.
That's so cool.
One more question. Sorry, Jay.
Go ahead.
Is there a timeline for the distillery part? Can we ask about that?
The production facility.
I don't know. Listen, okay, so I do have a date.
I know.
I do have a date, but I don't know if I can share.
I was gonna say, are you allowed to share? Probably not.
Right.
Yeah, but I do have a date.
Okay.
But you know what? I can message you afterwards and tell you.
Please.
But I can't say it on the show. But but I don't know if we're allowed to say it on the show because it hasn't been brought to the tour. I don't think. I'm not really sure.
Right on.
But
so
I'm excited to see it.
The thing you were talking about. So what I like to say a lot of times too, when I'm telling people about the fact our distillery, and mentioning, of course, Uncle Nearest, Tennessee, It's got the 3 stars on there for East, Middle, and West Tennessee, but also the 3 things that represent Tennessee, which of course are whiskey, horses, and music. And all 3 of those will be at our distillery. It'll be a great thing in regards of being a distillery that's cool for the whole entire family. When you think about it, it's not necessarily an amusement park, but it's going to be a whole lot of fun. It's going to be very exciting once all the phases are open and everything's in full operation. I mean, it's just really cool to be able to talk about that and have the horses running around, sipping on whiskey, looking at the copper skies, and then hearing some cool music in the background. So that's.
Could you imagine some horses on some whiskey, man?
I was just gonna say the horses are gonna be sipping whiskey.
Hey, yeah,
Damn.
Sprinkle it on the oats, Give them,
That'll be an interesting trot. The Tennessee sidewalk.
Right.
Horses across the street and falling over, and it'll be all bad. It'll be all bad.
Right.
It'll be all bad.
Oh man.
I tell you, man, to see this view, and I haven't been up here in about a week. Well, it'll be maybe 3 or 4 days. All the days are running together for me now
Right.
at this point. But being back up here at this time of the day and seeing this view, I kid you not, it's just like, it does something to me every time. And I'm not just saying that because we're on this show, but if you could ever be here at this time of day and actually see where the sun drops on each part of the land, or see the different horses out and just enjoying what they're doing, and even whenever the guys are here working, it's amazing to see. It's amazing to see this piece of land that we have, and it's a blessing to call this home.
So what's really cool is that so every day when us brand ambassadors are out in the market, we say, every time I tell the story, every time I have a whiskey dinner, every bottle that I watch go on the shelf, I tell people, and it sounds so dramatic, but it is truth. I say, we are making history right now. You and I just made history. We just made history. You are also, Isiah, watching history being built physically. And that is incredible, because one day this is going to be a historic distillery. Right? They're going to talk about 100 years from now, how think about it. Just like Jack Daniels, just like Jim Beam, just like, it's going to be just like that. And you are watching that history being built, and you are a part of that legacy too. That's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Really the legacy and when people come in and they don't have any idea of the story, I mean, some people that come in and they ride by, they're just riding by, or they're on a family trip, or they're going to see their family in some part of Tennessee, even further south, and they see Nearest Green Distillery, or they just see the horses, or they just see how big of a piece of land, and they see a lot of cars, and they just stop in. Those are the people that I really like to interact with the most, because when they come in and I get to tell them the story, or one of our team members get to tell them a story, you can see them light up, you're gonna have. We have, I'm gonna say a lot, but we have some people that come in, they know the story, but they don't believe it's true, or they know the story, and they don't want it to be true. They think we're in competition with Jack Daniel, and I try to tell them, I'm like, hey, that's not what we're doing here. I said, that's not what we're doing. That's not what we're here for. We're here to honor the legacy of both of those guys. You do know that, right? To me, honestly, the way I look at it is, and why I feel so adamant about it, we're bringing 2 cultures together. Not even just 2 cultures, but a world together. But seeing the fact that they both could be in heaven, sitting beside each other, like, yes, I knew it was gonna get told. I knew the story was actually gonna get told the right way.
I'm sure they are.
And that's the way I look at it. And I just try to leave off that kind of feeling with everybody that leaves. They're just like, they'll come in sometimes with a bad attitude, or not really. They're wanting to come. They want to come, but they don't want to come.
Right.
We have the same experience. Yes.
Like, yes,
we have the same experiences out in the market. Yeah. I have people come all salty to whiskey dinners or to tastings, especially in liquor stores, and they're, and I'm just like,
ready to go.
And I say to them, oh, you want me to tell you the story of Jack Daniels too? Because I can do that too. And I'm happy to, because we're all one big happy family. And that's it. You disarm them, shut them down. It's like, now, if you want to really taste the whiskey and hear the story, now we can do that. And they're just like, oh, okay. Oh, and then they leave. Not only do you dispel the negativity that they had, but they're excited. Like you can go past that. And that's really exciting.
It's amazing. I mean, it's really amazing to see that. Like a lot of those people that come in here, some being avid members of Jack Daniel, they go there every other month, or we have people that just drink it on the regular, or drink Jim Beam or Makers or whatever it is that of your choice. And they come in and they're just like, all right, whatever, you guys aren't anything, you know. And then we tell them the story, and I'm just like, I can see it as I'm getting further and further on in the story. I'm looking at them and I'm just like, I got you. No, I got you, right? I can see you coming in. I can see you coming in. But they're not wanting to. But then when they do, they're just like, you know what? I'm so happy that I came here. I've seen numerous people cry.
Yeah.
Just not even just the film, because the film makes almost everybody that comes to the tour cry.
Yes.
But just telling them the story and about what's going on here and what we're doing and the legacy that we're trying to leave out with, that we're trying to cement, you can see it in their face. They're just like, wow, I appreciate what you guys are doing here. And to me, I'm just like, no, I appreciate you coming and actually giving me the chance to tell you this story.
Yeah.
And leaving with a more of an open mind than what you had when you came here.
Mm-hmm.
And the way it happens, I mean, we usually, from that standpoint, no matter what market we're in, you being there at the distillery, when we get finished having that experience with folks, they usually leave becoming, in a sense, like another ambassador. You know, they tell their friends, they tell their family, and, you know, it just continues to spread. So just like the mission that Fawn had, you know, the Nearest Green Foundation, the family, you know, we're going to make sure that if you know about Jack, you know about Nearest Green. It's necessary, you know.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. It's exciting, man. What Fawn is doing, the different things that she comes up with, and not even just her, Kate, Steve, all of you guys, Sherry, Victoria, everybody, the entire whiskey family, everything that you guys are doing. Piggyback off of what you said, Sailor, it's a lot deeper than what we can even imagine at this point. We can't even fathom the things that we're doing at this point, and it's really amazing. And I think whenever I'm telling people, just like you said earlier too, Sailor, when I'm telling people that story at the Horseshoe, and I'm sitting there and I'm pouring the whiskey for the tasting, and I'm telling them the story, and I may sound dramatic at times. I may sound like it doesn't really. It's just a story. It may not hit them as much as it hits me, but whenever I'm telling it, they can see why I'm here, or they can see why I'm telling the story the way that I'm telling it. Because it hits deeper than just being whiskey. It hits deeper than just being a story about two individuals. So it's amazing to see a lot of the open eyes that we get become open hearts. So can't wait to see what's to come for sure.
Well, we are so grateful to have you holding down the fort back at home, and while we're all out here spreading the word.
I got a great team alongside with me too, though. I'm telling you. Courtney, Jameson, Olivia.
Oh, yeah.
Beth.
We love them.
I think we all got picked off of character. Like, we didn't get picked for anything else. Because we work so well together. I mean, being able to tell this story and working alongside these guys and these gals, it's amazing. I'm blessed to have the teammates that I do here in the distillery as well as you guys out there in the marketplace, holding it down for sure. So
I love hearing that.
That's cool.
Well, thanks so much, Isiah, for taking the time to sit down with us. It was really great to get to know you a little bit better, and we are so excited to support you and watch you on this journey. And we're, like I said, we're grateful to have you back at home holding down the fort, and I can't wait to see you in September.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, September.
Can't wait.
I know. I'm excited.
I'm so glad you guys had me on. So thankful.
Thank you.
You guys thought of me to have me on here.
Of course.
It was really nice to meet you, Sailor, and you Nick as well.
You
That's
too.
Right.
That's right. That was back when you didn't have all that hair on your face, you know. I think that was back in October when I brought the family.
Listen, man, when the barbershop opened back up, this is going. I got a full-blown afro on my head.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
gone.
You know what you need to do
I'm
with
going
it
back to
then.
baby-
I'm expecting
that?
this hairdo for you.
Oh, no.
Yes. Oh, you have to do it. Just the day before you cut it, and you guys have to do the dance and the whole deal.
Hey, Jameson just sent me a text before I pulled up at the distillery. He was like, hey man, what are we gonna do about the Motown with me? I was like, dude. I said, I don't know, man. I said, the attention's on us now because we haven't done it. So we did this to ourselves.
Uh-huh.
Right.
But we'll come up with something, man. And he sent me a picture. It was an Amazon. I'm giving away too much probably, but it was an Amazon site, and it was the picture of the hot top. It was like a wig.
So
wig
you could,
costume.
the kid and play high.
Yeah, he said we're going. Yes, and he
Yes.
said let's put those on. I was like, oh man. I said, see. So we got to go with the afros if we're going to do anything. We'll see how it turns out.
I love it.
For sure.
Maybe Jay can pull some strings in Atlanta and get Ludacris up there for y'all.
Oh, no. That's calling your boy.
Oh,
That's
no.
Kenny Burns, man.
Do it.
Oh, that would be amazing if Luda pops on someone's
Oh, my
Motown with
God.
Me video.
That'd be incredible.
Oh, wow. That would be amazing.
Legendary. Then we win. I win.
Yes, you
Yes.
absolutely do.
You would win the
Luda
trip
in
for
here, I win.
You would win the trip for 2 to the distillery you work at for 2 nights.
Right. Go right back
I have
home.
to ask. She still have to pay for everything. I'm like, give me some new shirts and the cancer, arrowheads. I'm getting everything free.
Everything.
Awesome. Well, thanks again, everybody, for being here today. And thanks, you guys, for watching. And you can see us every week right here on All Things Nearest, where we bring you stories from inside and behind the brand. We are hashtag more than whiskey for a reason, and I think that was apparent after this discussion. And if you go on our Instagram and Facebook, you will find out about this Motown with Me challenge. So check that hashtag out, hashtag Motown with Me, and join us. And drink honorably.
Friendly reminder to drink honorably.
Yes.
Toast to you, my man, Isaiah. Man, proud of you, bro. Proud of you, man.